Goblin here, coming to you for reviewing books that came out in this week in January 2010. Thanks for joining me. I got 5 books to review here on video, and there's 4 DCs, 1 Marvel. So let's just go ahead and get started. We're going to start with Catwoman number 83. All right. Yeah, this is the first issue of Catwoman I've actually bought, you know, because it's a tie into Blackest Night. But in all seriousness, I look at this more as a Blackest Night tie-in to Gotham City Sirens, because that's what it read. That's how it read to me. You know, the only drawback is that it's not written by Paul Dini. You know, look at it as an issue of Catwoman, but when you read it, you could swear that you were reading an issue of Gotham City Sirens. That's how this book felt to me, and I loved it. It was good. Of course, if you look at the cover, it's not really a spoiler. You know, the original Black Mask is a Black Lantern in this book. And some interesting stuff happens in this book. We get a couple of we learn a few things about Selina that we either that we either didn't know or that we might have forgotten about. And I forgot that she had a sister. But this was nice stuff. Really, really nice stuff. And the way this story ended, the way this issue ended, if it doesn't continue, if this story doesn't continue in Gotham City Sirens, then I'm not going to be keeping up with it, because I'm only buying these issues of Catwoman to keep up with Blackest Night. But overall, this was a good book. Well worth your $2.99. Give it a try. Okay, we got a first for the Blue Goblin comic book review, and I think you all will enjoy it. Let's take a look at Secret 6, number 17. Yes, do not rub your eyes. Do not slap yourselves. You are actually seeing me review an issue of Secret 6. And to all of you fans who have been wanting me to review Secret 6, I deeply apologize for overlooking this series. This was awesome. Gail Simone, you are a genius. I know Ostrander helped you write the story, but I'm going to give you full credit because you deserve it. And Craig, my friend at Grandland, I know you're watching. I know you're listening to this, so be ready to hear me say, I am sorry that it took me this long to jump onto Secret 6. This book was incredible. Yeah, the story with Catman and the fight between Catman and Tiger was, you know, it's just so good, just so good. Bane really shines here too. I didn't know whether or not I wanted to jump onto this series because, you know, Bane no longer needing the venom, no longer using the venom steroid toxin and all that kinds of crap, and but oh my God, I'm so glad I'm jumping onto this series, but I'm really sorry that it took me this long to get involved in it. Another thing for me to thank Blackest Night for was getting me on board with this series. This was great stuff. If you've been collecting Secret 6 already, then you don't need to hear me talk about how good this book was. Just go ahead and pick it up and be grateful. Yes, good stuff. All right, let's get a little batty here. We're gonna start with Batgirl number 6. There's the battle for the cave and everything. The guest appearance by Batman and Robin, and I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised by how good this book was. It certainly picked up a lot better than the last issue did. Good dialogue between all the characters in this book, including Stephanie and Damian, you know, Batgirl and Robin, and some good dialogue between the original Batgirl and Robin, you know, Dick and Barbara. All kinds of good stuff happens in here. Yeah, and this book actually ends on a really good cliffhanger. You know, Batgirl is going to be one of those underrated series from the Batman universe, and I think that's really sad because this has been really good. It hasn't been terrible, it's just been very good, and that issue impressed me. Props to DC for putting out a good Batgirl book. Now we go from Batgirl to Batman. This is Batman number 695. We're getting ever so closer to Batman 700. And I wonder what story that's going to tie into. Bruce Wayne. Pardon me. This is a continuation of Tony Daniel's story. It's good. It's very solid, good stuff. It's the way Batman is supposed to act, even though it's Dick Grayson. I'm loving it. His interaction with Catwoman is good in this issue. The only thing I guess I can nitpick about when it comes to Batman, and I believe Craig brought this up as well, where's the editorial development for Batman? Where's the chronological development for the current run of Batman right now? And it's a little sunny here. Let me decrease the light here. Okay. But where in the DC Universe timeline is this happening? Is this story taking place before Blackest Night, after Blackest Night, or during Blackest Night? When and where is this taking place? I know it's taking place in Gotham City, but when is it taking place? That's the only gripe I guess I can have about this run with Batman, is that we don't know when it's exactly taking place, since it's going to be closely tied into two big stories that are happening in DC right now. You got Blackest Night and you got the return of Bruce Wayne coming up. I would just like to know when this happens. That's pretty much it. Other than that, it's a good story. I suggest you keep collecting Batman. It's good stuff. And we're going to end this on a Marvel book. We're going to end it on Amazing Spider-Man 617. This is a continuation of the Gauntlet with the Rhino, and sad to say, it's not the original Rhino. It's a new Rhino. Joe Kelly writes a good story. This is good. This is a good issue of Amazing Spider-Man. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I guess the only two things I can really have to complain about when it comes to Amazing Spider-Man right now is that Marvel continues to fix what's not broken. I hated what they did with Dr. Octopus. I still hate the fact that Gargan is still Venom. And I can't say I'm 100% behind what they're doing with Rhino. And don't even get me started on Kraven's daughter. That was lame. I looked back on that story and I'm like, okay, it was Kraven's first time with Kraven's daughter. It was written well, good presentation, but, you know, nobody, you can't just, you know, pull up a new character and call her Kraven the Hunter. It doesn't work that way. There's only going to be one Kraven the Hunter, and unfortunately, he's dead. So unless Marvel decides to resurrect him through some bullshit story, then you can't really call anybody Kraven the Hunter unless it's Sergei Kravinoff. But all in all, this was a good book, good read, good everything. But the only two things I complain about is that they continue to fix what's not broken, and the obnoxious letter in the back of the book, written by a Will Robertson of Los Angeles, California. Give this book a look and read the obnoxious letter that fan wrote. It really offended me as a comic book reader because this person clearly cannot accept both sides of the Peter Parker coin. He only wants to accept the bachelor side and not the married side. Now, I can understand where some people might have hated him being married, but at least accept the realism that the character of Peter Parker, not Spider-Man, Peter Parker, had to the comic book reader. Stan Lee created that character for that purpose, to have a realism connection with the reader. Not Spider-Man, Peter Parker. And if you can only accept one side of that coin, then you're clearly not a fan of Spider-Man. You're only a mark. You're only a hack. You don't follow the story the way it's supposed to be followed. Peter Parker is supposed to connect to the reader. And if you don't accept both sides of the relationship coin, then we have a problem. So, there you go. Amazing Spider-Man. It's $3.99 because it's a pretty large book. There's a two-split story with two different stories about the Rhino, and it's actually really good. I would suggest go ahead and spending the extra buck for a bigger book. That's all I got for this week on video. Now, be sure to keep up with me here on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter.com/blugoblin01. Follow me on Facebook, and be sure to I'll put the link over there. Be sure to keep up with comiccrazyreviews.webs.com. I just got some new reviews posted, and my next two written reviews for the website, and I don't know when they're going to be posted, but my next two written reviews are going to be for Booster Gold and the Power of Shazam tie into Blackest Night. Thanks for watching, everybody, and keep reading those comics, and until next time, everybody, I'll see you later.